So we got this new machine, the FibroScan machine, which is this fantastic device that you can non-invasively measure both the fibrosis of someone's liver, but also their steatosis, the fatty content of their liver, and it's really taken the place in many instances of a liver biopsy, which is obviously extraordinarily invasive and isn't feasible for your general patients. So we have this machine, the FibroScan, and we started seeing a lot of patients on whom we were using the FibroScan, and we said, hey, we're generating a lot of data. What can we do with this data? And the idea is, instead of finding excuses to gather more data, let's try and figure out what to do with all of the resources that we already have. So I was handed this extraordinary data set of thousands of FibroScan data points, each representing a different patient. And we went to the clinic team and we said, what are we seeing in the clinic and what kind of questions do those bring to mind? And how can these data help us figure out what's going on that we see in the clinic? And so one of the questions that came up was, our patients are coming back when they're being treated on these direct-acting antivirals, and they seem to be happier, they seem to be eating more, and qualitatively we think they're gaining some weight. And so the question was, are they gaining weight? Is that a bad thing? How much are they gaining? And what can we do with this new controlled attenuation parameter? That's the CAP part of it. So now that we're measuring steatosis, how can that also help risk stratify our patients? So it was this perfect storm of new technology, the FibroScan, fantastic drugs that actually now are curing patients of hepatitis C. And our question was, so what next? How can we use this to predict what these patients need going forward? Well, so we started with the question of, is this weight gain real, or is this just our selection bias that we're seeing in the clinic? And we saw a real weight gain, enough to change the BMI of the majority of our patients, as well as an increased steatosis. So the fatty content of the liver was increasing. That was somewhat expected. It was nice to have a statistical test behind it and a p-value that we can point to. What we did not expect, however, was this change to be stratified by gender. We thought this was going to be uniform, perhaps related to changes in diet, which we had no reason to believe were going to be different based off gender. But what we ended up finding was it was only the men in our cohort who were gaining the weight, both on their BMI, their body mass index, but also in their liver in terms of their steatosis. And the women, there was no weight gain, both in their liver or in the general BMI. And so that is our next question now is, what drives that gender difference? But it's been nice to already start counseling patients and to have them be aware that this is something to expect now that we're able to cure their viral illness.